fire you guys up, so hopefully you guys have a seatbelt strap. It's going to be a little crazy. Guys, really excited to be here. Who's your first regional success training you've ever been to as a regional director or higher? Awesome. Big round of applause to those folks. Awesome. I will tell you, the number one key, one of the number one keys of success, or top keys, is to show up. You know, I've been in direct sales for about 16 years, and one thing I've never missed is an event. No matter how much I know, every time I learn, I realize I don't know anything. And you know, I'm a student of this business, I'm a student of success, of people, and so you never know what one nugget you pick up from someone. You never know what one nugget can change your life. You never know what one nugget you hear from someone unexpectedly, maybe even next to you or something, that all of a sudden changes your life. And in turn, that happened because you you shared the message with a ton of people and impacted tens and hundreds of thousands of people potentially, right? So for those who don't know me, I'm born and raised in Miami, Cuban parents, no relation to Ricky Ricardo, so don't confuse me. I can say that. There we go. So, but nothing. I've been in direct sales, like I said, for 16 years. Really got excited when I came in. I used to do nightclub promotions out of college. Basically, when we're in college, we go out, we party. For me, I come from an entrepreneurial family, and I was wondering, what am I going to do? And met a gentleman who was very successful. He basically loaded up clubs with people and made a lot of money. I was like, I want to do that. And long story short, became his apprentice. All of a sudden started doing very well for about 8 years. I was like the king of South Beach. And met my wife and decided to go venture different ways. And long story short, got introduced to network marketing. And fell in love with the concept. But like a lot of people, I struggled. I came with the wrong mindset. I didn't understand what a system was. I was the closer. If you sat in front of me, you were in. But then I never heard from you again. You just didn't want to talk to me, or you just didn't want to do what I did and how I did it. And so I share that with you because I've been through a lot. And one of the things I learned is success does not happen by chance. It happens by design. There are systems in place for a reason because they work, flat out work. And we have one of the best systems I've ever seen. Obviously, the numbers prove it, right? I mean, the last 3 years, what we've done is unbelievable, right? And so I share that with you because, guys, what I'm about to share with you guys right now is running the play. You bring that new person in, what's next, right? How come some people are going faster than others, right? This business, we're building a volunteer army, right? You guys with me? And people do things for their reasons, not yours and mine. Do you guys agree? Yes, yes. Yes. So I share that with you because, bottom line, when somebody comes in, they're excited. That's when they're most excited. That's when they're most likely to do things. And that's when you have to basically run the play with them, with urgency. People do as you do, not as you. So you're the person that's making that impact with that new person. You're the person that's guiding them. The reality is, most people have an employee mindset. And this is not to knock someone that has a job, it's just reality, right? People are used to being told what time they go to work, when they go to lunch, when they go home, what they wear, when they can go on vacation, right? I mean, people are used to being told certain things, so why would it be different here, right? I mean, number one, they don't know what they're doing, so, they're looking up to you for guidance, right? And the reality is, guys, in this business, if you want to be successful, you are the CEO of your own business. It's not your outline's fault. It's not, I'm here today because I want to work, right? You can have the best support in the world. All of you guys have incredible people. You have people on your team that you're ready, willing, and able to support, and they don't do anything, nothing's going to happen, right? No matter how much you do for them, nothing's going to happen. So those are the realities. So when somebody gets started, guys, people do things for two reasons: either possibility of gain and fear of loss, right? Yes, yes. The possibility of gain is in the beginning when they're excited. The fear of loss is at the end when they might lose something, right? And we're going to talk about both things, but that's what this weekly pool is all about. The 3 for Free pool and the Rising Star pool, when somebody gets in, they got to get it done in the first 30 days or else they'll never get paid on it, right? So there's a reason for them to get into action right away. You guys with me? So us as leaders, guys, we've got to take action with these people, that first week. Our Getting Started training is designed for someone to become a director in how many days? 7. How many days? 7. How many days? 7. It's designed to get someone into action right away. Why? Because, guys, without a sense of urgency, like the great Jim Rohn says, desire loses its value, right? People come in, they're excited, and all of a sudden, you know, a week passes by, 2 weeks pass by, they haven't talked to anyone, and all of a sudden, they're not as excited as they were when they first got started. You guys with me? Now, if they were to get started and in the first couple of days, get a first customer, get a first promoter, maybe even hit 3 for free or Rising Star, are they more excited then because they actually accomplished something? Or are they less excited than if nothing happened, right? Common sense, right? So who sets that pace? We do. We set the pace of that new person. Okay? So we've got to master the mindset of when somebody comes in, this has got to get done now. Right? People see everything through our eyes. When somebody gets in, whatever pace we set is basically what they're going to do, for the most part. Right? There's X factors there, but for the most part. You guys with me? So, number one, you got to master it. It's a mindset. It's just the way someone operates. I mean, when somebody gets started with me, I'm like, oh my God, we got to get this done now. We got to call people right now. We got to do this right now. I set the tone and the pace. If I say, we'll do it next week, guess what? It doesn't even happen, right? And a lot of times, you know, we go through all this trouble to sign someone up, and all of a sudden, you know, we just drop the ball here. You know, the sign up is just a start. It begins when you sign somebody up. You're not done there. And the challenge is, for some people, that's what they think, right? So we got to change that. It's 90% mindset, 10% skill set. Because some other people will say, well, you know what? I just need to learn more, or whatever. No! Guys, one of the reasons we have so much success, one of the reasons you see above, you know, people that they're average people having above average success on stage, and we've had tons of them in Visalus, is because we have a very simple system. The learning process is minute, right? The question is, what do you want to do, and how fast do you want to do it, so we can run the play, right? So the mindset is that every non-Rising Star director and 3 for free must break in the next 7 days, right? And why if we have 30 days, are you going to do it in 7? Well, number one, guys, again, the closer to the start date of someone getting started, having some success and getting them successful, the more likely they're going to continue, right? If somebody hits Rising Star in the first 7 days, what are the chances that they'll qualify for the car in the first month? Very high, right? Because what you do tends to duplicate. So if you did it in 1 week, and somebody asks you, well, what did you do? They're like, I got Rising Star done in 1 week. Like, you don't know any better, right? You expect that. Whereas if you've done it for a month, you know, you're challenged unless you change the mindset. You guys with me? So you see down there, don't let your story be their story. Don't let your story be their story. A lot of times, I mean, and I can tell you from past history in this industry, you know, I never really had a mentor. I never really had, you know, in the beginning, you know, I never really had that upline that I looked up to that could support me and whatnot. And so I always blamed that person that wasn't there or not having that as the lack of. That's why I didn't accomplish stuff. That's why I didn't do well, right? Guys, you guys are the CEO of your own business. I'm telling you what you got to do to go all the way to the top. There's no excuses. Either you do it or you don't. It's a choice. So we got to run this from week to week, and every week, you know, if I get someone, if I get Amber started, right, and we didn't accomplish it, and I say, Amber, you know, we didn't get it done, let's do it again. We got another shot. Let's press reset, let's remake that list, let's book another challenge party, let's start calling people. Maybe let's try this approach, let's do something different, but let's do it again. If we don't get it done, hey, we got another shot, let's do it again. So you've got to take every week, guys, as an opportunity, and remember, don't let your story be their story. So obviously you want to master the mindset that everyone breaks director in 7 days or less, and then you want to master the skill set of the 3 steps of director, okay? I'll go over that now. Welcome calls and expiring starts. How many people, honestly, do welcome calls with every new executive promoter that comes into their team? Yeah, shouldn't be most people. Yeah. Guys, let me tell you, when you apply that, all of a sudden, everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. I can tell you that, you know, we have a pretty large team, and in the pockets that I know it's being done, there's duplication. There's all kinds of directors being broken, all kinds of 3 for frees. That's where the growth is. Where it's not there. That makes a difference. So, number one, after every presentation that someone sees and gets started, GST. The most important thing you can do as soon as someone signs up is watch that getting started training. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you get some chance. I understand that now. If the new person doesn't think that it's important, they're not going to treat it as important. So who has to make it important? We do. Again, we set the tone, and we set the pace for the person. We create urgency. It's important. If we don't say it is, they're not going to think it is. That's the reality. Okay? So when somebody once you watch that video, you're obviously going to review the document with them, all the steps, the list, the this, the that. But guys, one of the most important things you guys can do is record that project 10 video. Who's doing that right now? Awesome. It's funny, if I would ask this to the last regional success rate, like a quarter of the people. And you know why I think a lot of us have woken up? Number one, for those that have been with the company before the Project 10 existed, you know, when something new is added, it's kind of hard to incorporate, right? Because you're already used to a certain system, and now, oh, we have to do this. On top of the fact that some people feel comfortable in front of a camera, so it's something that, well, it's not that important. But guys, at this national success training, they basically, Blake basically showed the numbers of where, you know, the person that does not do anything of going public, you know, just basically signs up. The average volume generated by that new promoter is $350 or $375, something like that. Oh yeah. And and then it showed if you go public and record the first video, not even completed, it more than doubles. So I think a lot of people woke up after that, like, everybody's getting recorded, right? Why? Think about this. When somebody records that Project 10 video and they're going public, now they're like, uh-oh, I gotta get on the challenge, right? If they get on the challenge, they're gonna get results, right? So what are people gonna start telling you? Oh my God, you look great. What are you doing? How can I? So they're probably gonna get some customers. So logically, their volume is gonna increase. Yes or yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Guys, it's brilliant. I didn't get it in the beginning. I'm guilty. In the beginning, it was like, you know, video. I was like, once I understood the power of it, I was like, how is everybody getting this video? I have a scale in my car. When I go to a challenge party, they don't have one. It's coming out, right? So, you know, guys, this is important. You guys have to lead. You guys are the leaders. You have to lead. If you're not doing it with your people, are they going to do it? No. Okay. Schedule a pre-party and schedule the challenge party. What are you going to do at the pre-party? Well, guys, the pre-party is basically, you know, let's face it. You know, when somebody new starts, it's new to them, right? Their belief is not there yet. They're borrowing your belief in the beginning. You guys with me? So, what's your name? Dan. So I bring Dan into the business, right? He gets started, he goes through a getting started training, and then, you know, I set him off, I show him how to properly pre-party. And let's say, you know, he's got all these people that I don't know, he decides to go on his own, and he's got these people in mind that he's going to call, and they come in, he's going to dominate New Jersey, New York, he's going to take over the whole Northeast. He calls 1, 2, or 3 of these people, and all of a sudden they go, boom! They tell him something that discourages him, something that rattles his brain, and all of a sudden he disappears on them. Has anybody had anybody disappear on them after they joined the challenge? I'll tell you what happened. Chances are, more than likely, no pre-party was done with them, and somebody's scared that you know whatever. And all of a sudden they're like, well, you know, they believe that person over you. How do you overcome that? Bless you. The pre-party. What the pre-party does, guys, is you're there with that person. So number one, you know, you're probably going to do a challenge party more than likely with that new person, right? You're going to be there. Number one, if you're going to do a challenge, you want to make sure that they actually call people, not text them and Facebook messages to all their 5,000 friends, and then, you know, they're telling everybody's going to come. And then, you know, you go there and it's like, this house, wow. You talk about the house, how long have you lived here, nice pictures. You know, I mean, you do that anyway, but you do it extensively when nobody shows up. Number one, you know the calls are done. Number two, if there is an objection that Dan has, right? If there's something that he encounters or some opinion that he's, you know, rattled by, you just go, you know how many people have done that to me? That is the first person, when they see you on Facebook with, you know, losing weight, gaining some muscle, with a BMW, with a big check, that's the first person that's going to come back and join your business. Because I can tell you, in 35 months that I've been with the company, I have about, out of 157 persons that I brought in since I got started, about 20 of them have come after the fact. They've just watched the picture, like, that's it, I'm in, right? Because either I shared something that happened, something that's occurred, you know, I've moved in spite of it, right? So number one is, so they make the calls. Number two, so you can help them overcome objections. Number three, because if you're going to be at someone's challenge party, you want to make sure that people are going to be there, right? So, you know, connect with their people so that they have a successful challenge party, right? Just logically, pre-party is important. If you don't do a pre-party with these people, guys, it's like Russian roulette, right? I mean, you're just gonna throw the dice. Do it with them. Guess what? They have success at their challenge party. What are they gonna do? What you just did with them. What you just did with them. Make sense? Yes or yes? Yes. The challenge party. The challenge party. Your job with that new person is to help them not only schedule it, not only fill it with the pre-party, but guys, set it up and close it. Okay? So, all this stuff, when you sit down with someone, they're doing the Getting Started training after they joined, you're doing that Project 10 video, you're making their list right then and there, you're booking their challenge party and the pre-party right then and there, and then you're executing. Okay? The challenge party, guys, people don't know. I mean, sometimes you go to a house and if you didn't do stuff, they don't have a blender, they don't have a DVD, right? And then, oh my God, the forms. People don't know these. You do it for them. Be the example. People learn more by seeing than by actually, by seeing you in action than actually you telling them what to do. Just bring everything for them. First party. When I got started, one of my mentors and guys that inspired me in Visalus when I got started was Calpacetti. And Calpacetti basically used to say, do it for them, do it with them, and then they're off on their own, right? So when I bring someone new, I'm acting as if this party's mine. It's my party. I've got to bring everything. I got to do everything. I'm not leaving anything to them, or else I run the risk and chance of them, not being a complete party. You guys with me? Awesome. Now, once people have joined, guys, once people have joined your team, this is what I was talking about, welcome calls. Guys, this part right here can really save your business. And I'll tell you why. Because if the new person brought someone in, they're probably not, let's be frank, new person comes in, new person brings somebody in, new person brings someone in, and they're excited that they signed this new person up. They're probably scared to do a Getting Started training because they don't want to mess up the sale, right? They don't want to mess up that new person. Oh no, I don't want to mess it up. So they kind of let it. So how do you fix that? Because this is going to happen to your team. If you're not involved, it's going to happen. If you're not there, it's going to happen. They're not going to do a Getting Started training. They're not going to shoot the project. How do you fix that? Through these welcome calls, right? We call them, you can call them audit calls internally, but it's really, it's a welcome call. And your job is to connect to them, right? See, welcome to the team, maybe share your story. But bottom line, guys, what you want to do is, you want to basically help that person, you want to review the process. So, if Dan just got started, right? And he got started, with Jody. Let's say Jody brought Dan, Jody's gonna introduce me to all her new people. Like I'll tell all my directors, introduce me to the new people that came in. And then I'm gonna get on the phone with Dan, I'm gonna welcome him, and I'm gonna say, hey, did you watch the Getting Started training? Did you do your pre-party? When's your challenge party? If that has not been done, then that's when we do it, right? So at that point, I'm gonna do what should have been done there, and if it's already been done, I'm just gonna reemphasize that it's important. You guys with me? So bottom line, I'm going to book the parties there if it hasn't been done. I'm going to take the ownership and initiative at that moment and run the play. Make sense?
Yes.
Guys, I will tell you, you'll be surprised if you dig down into your team and people are not introducing you for whatever the reason, and just ask them if they want to make their money back, ask them if they want to go director. If you ask them certain things, and then you ask them, have you done your Getting Started training? Have you done a party? You'd be surprised how many people. There's a gap. This is how you bridge that gap. You guys with me?
Yes.
So force the calendar, guys. Don't leave it to chance. Now I mentioned people are inspired by there's two motivating factors, right? Possibility of gain and fear of loss. Now unfortunately, fear of loss is a greater motivator than possibility of gain. If not, everybody would be running wild, right? When there's a deadline where somebody's going to miss out on something, people are. If you know our story, we went through a lot of financial challenges right before Visalus. For 2 years, we were basically in survival mode. And I can tell you, I know what it's like when, if you don't pay today, the car's going to be towed, right? And so it's funny how that is a greater motivator than, your credit getting messed up or whatever. I mean, you're like, I don't want to lose the car, right? So this is something, this whole expiring stars and 3 for frees, there's a reason for you to call people, right? In the beginning, it's to get them started. This time it's, hey, listen, this is your last shot, And so we have a report that you can get on your Vinet mobile, or on your dashboard on Vinet on the computer that shows all the people that are within 30 days, they have or have not qualified 3 for free or Rising Star. Do you guys know this exists? Yes? Okay. Guys, the reports we have here are brilliant because they help us basically drive business. They help us drive business. Again, success here or in anything in life for any matter does not happen by chance, guys. It happens by design. We have a plan. Okay? You guys with me? This creates urgency. What you want to do is every Friday morning or late Thursday night, you want to pull up this report and see who they are, right? Maybe delegate them, depending on the size of your team, delegate them into your regional directors. If you're already an ambassador or something, delegate it to your nationals or regional directors, whatever. But you want to definitely take ownership of this process, because I'll tell you, if you want this business to run, if you want it to flow, guys, you gotta be on top of these things, right? And if somebody's not taking ownership of it within your team, and you want it to be successful, take ownership, right? So Friday mornings, I typically will start calling people, because I'm a firm believer. You call to inform, you text to remind. You call to inform, you text to remind. I know we're in a text world, and I love to text, and sometimes I prefer to text over whatever, but for stuff like this, you've got to get on the phone. You've got to communicate with someone. They've got to listen to your voice. They got to feel your emotions, right? They've got to feel something from you that there's an urgent matter and that it's important. You with me? So call and text everybody. Every Friday night, 8 o'clock, there's a call to help the cause. Remember, this business is all about third party, right? When you get somebody started, you get them on a tool, you put them on a 3-way call, right? You bring people here to events so they can hear other stories. The call facilitates that. Basically provides that same energy or whatever you want to call it to get it done, right? It creates urgency on, hey, you've got till Thursday, it's a second shot, let's go, right? It's your last chance. What else? 7-day factor. So guys, it's a mindset. It's a mindset, and I can tell you, if you run the play, guys, there's no perfect, we're not in a perfect world as we know, right? And not everybody's going to do it. But guess what? If you leave it to chance, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. And my question to you is, if you're not where you want to be, and you're not following this, then what are you waiting for, right? If we're telling you this is a play, this is how we get it done. We pick up the phone, we take the initiative, we inform people, we run them. If this is what it is and you're not doing it, then, why? It's not working. This is it, guys. There's no secret. But there must be urgency in the matter, guys. You set the tone. The speed of the leader is the speed of the... People do as you... people do as you do, not as you...
Right.
That's it, guys. We all know this. We just have to execute, okay? And the best part about all of this, guys, is that if you're basically running this play with people, people will do it, right? If you're urgent with this, people will do it. Guess what happens? If you're urgent with this, people's checks are going up. Don't people smile a little more when they got their first check, or they got a $500 or $1,000 check for the first time? Don't they have like a different attitude? Don't they walk differently, right? Right? Aren't they different? You can't leave it to chance. Yeah, absolutely. You can't leave, yeah. I mean, I joke around with a lot of people. I actually have a website called Empty Wallet-itis, right? People have, it's a disease that's plaguing the nation, right? People broke, cars being repoed, people knocking on the doors, the paparazzi calling people. Guys, that's the reality. How do you fix that? When somebody gets started, run them, guys. Run them. The difference between some of us, where you guys are at right now, some of you guys, and where you want to be, is this gap right here, guys. I'm telling you. If you're not urgent with this, if you don't show importance with this, if you don't lead by doing it that way, it's not going to happen. I will tell you, the newest person is the person you want to be working with. The newest person is the most excited. The newest person doesn't have all this drama or dilemma in their head. The newest person doesn't care about anything else that's going on. The newest person inspires us because we see it through their eyes. Right? I mean, think about it. When you're with somebody that's all negative and down and you just hang out with them for a little while, how do you get? No matter how positive you are. You're down. But this new person comes in, oh my God, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve. They have that crazy, ignorance on fire energy. How do you feel after that?
Fired up.
Yeah.
How do you feel? So the newest person is the most important person. So if you didn't bring them in, but somebody in your team did, and nobody's going to take the initiative, guys. It's your business. I don't care who your upline is. I don't care what they've done or haven't done. It's your business. Take ownership. Who wants to be financially free? Who wants to impact people? Who wants to do this? It's you. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody. Either you do or you don't. It's a choice. It's a choice. Guys, I can tell you, I've been in direct sales for 16 years. I've always wanted to be at the right place, at the right time, with the right company, with the right, all those cliche stuff. This is it. Now what? Now what? Who follows me on social media? Whether it's Instagram or whatever. A lot of people are like, you're nuts, dude. You're like here, you're there, whatever. Guys, I know what I have in my hands. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we have here. This is not normal. What we make, the kind of income we make, it's not normal. Right? So obviously you have to do abnormal things for a short period of time. So obviously you can enjoy things later that most people can't, right? This is an opportunity, guys. This model works. The products are changing lives. Vibe Crunch is out, and that stuff is amazingly delicious. I just had 2 bags this morning. I love that stuff. I have to do more cardio now. I think I'm consuming too much. But it's delicious, right? It's amazing. Anyhow, can you imagine the energy like in the next 6 months on that product as they start incorporating into kids? You have no clue, guys. Now's go time, guys. Press reset. Act like if you started from scratch. Work with the newest people. Get the newest people fired up. Get them some success. I promise you it'll roll up. And guess what? If some people don't get engaged or whatever they're doing, who cares? You've got new people that are fired up, and you just keep on going, right? I want to end with this. I've been through a lot of ups and downs in my life. I've been very successful. I've been rock bottom, not once, a couple times. And I tell you, no matter where you're at in life, it's always a choice and a decision how you think about what's going on. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do in spite of it. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do in spite of it. What happens to one happens to all. It's how we choose to react. Guys, life goes on. Bills will keep on coming. The kids need to go to college. People need to be fed. The car payment has to be paid. Life goes on. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do in spite of it. I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, all that matters is where you're going. NST's coming up, guys. Where will you and your team be come NST in November? Thank you very much, God bless.